Welcome back, bros, to another video review, and today we have the opportunity to take a look at the Studio Series Transformers War for Cybertron Gamer Edition Megatron. And for the contents, this is what we get inside. We get Megatron himself, the figure, and we get 3 accessories. But technically it's 2 when you combine the handle of the mace and the mace head together. And then you also have this fusion cannon. And then we have standard with all Transformers, the instruction manual. So here we are zoomed in. So let's check out the details on this Megatron. Now this is the Megatron from the War for Cybertron game that came out in the past for the PC, PlayStation 3, and also the Xbox 360. With that being said, this was a brand new design created by High Moon Studios, which is a game we all love and enjoyed. Now, just looking at the accuracy from the figure from the game, it's pretty much darn near accurate. Now, the only thing that is difficult when trying to get the coloring of this figure down pat, in some games or contrast, he was dark like this Megatron is right now. And then others, he was lighter or more like a whiter color in the previous versions of making this toy. So, all right, guys, before we continue this review, let's check out the accessories because this Megatron is full of accessories. So basically, you can slide the hand off if you want and take that off and now give him that fusion cannon arm if you choose to do that. Even though that is not game accurate, it's there. I don't know why you would want to do that, but let's continue showing off the compatibility with the previous weapons that we've got from the previous figures. Whether it be Barricade, Bumblebee, or basically the same as Optimus Prime or whatever. So here we have that one. And then here we have him with the plasma cannon, guys. And then if you want to have him with Optimus Prime's ion cannon, here you go. And lastly, here we have him with Barricade's, what is this, the assault rifle, if I remember correctly. So yes, that's what Megatron looks like with that. So let's give him his fist back and his more G1 looking self. And then right here, he comes with his mace. Now, it's purple like this normally, because it's got the Energon infused, but that's not the case for this one. They just made it purple to begin with. And it just slides right in his hand. So now he has his melee weapon to battle Optimus Prime. In addition to that, I cannot keep this thing and pose it staying on his arm for some reason. And here we have Megatron looking all... Now I can't get him to stand. All fierce. So, all right, guys, I know you're saying I skipped a step, but I'm not going to go through the articulation because it really pisses me off that Hasbro really did this to give the new Megatron no knee bend. The knee bend is ridiculous, and I don't understand how you can design a figure that cannot bend his knees. So, basically, Megatron's articulation is the same pretty much for all Voyagers, except for the fact that this Megatron cannot have a 90-degree bend at the knees, which sucks. So, all right, guys, this brings me to the point right here where I have both of these figures before you. I have the original release of this Megatron from the War for Cybertron game, which was created in 2011. And it was a 3-pack, a Toys R Us exclusive, and it was called Rage Over Cybertron. So this Megatron right here was sort of like the Megatron where he's infused with the Dark Energon. If you played the game or know about the game, you know where I'm coming from. Now, the Megatron on your left, in my opinion, I thought was darn near perfect. You couldn't get any better than that. Megatron had his fusion cannon. And then not only that, he had the dark energon coming up through him. He got more purple on him. He just looked menacing. And the figure had a ton of paint details, as you can see right now on the figure on the left. Now, the shoulder cannon is purple, which is not really traditional of Megatron, but it looks good. It has painted details on it. And I don't see why Hasbro did not just make this figure a Voyager size class. Now, when it comes to the new Megatron, now, as you can see, there is differences in the figure, but it's very subtle, which I'm okay with. But just looking at the deluxe size Megatron to now the Voyager class Megatron, which is barely bigger than a previous deluxe in the past, here you can see some of the similarities and some of the differences on this Megatron. Now, do I think they will give us a dark energon infused Megatron to go with this version? I think so, later on down the line as a selects or an exclusive to Amazon or Target or somebody later on in the future. Now, will they fix the articulation in the knees? I don't know, but hopefully Hasbro is hearing the complaints from all the Transformer collectors to let them know that you messed up on a premier character in the Transformer universe. So now that that's out the way, let's just check out the cannons. Now, I don't remember exactly what arm Megatron had the cannon, but normally we all know him to have that cannon on his right arm. But this one from the previous mode has it on the left. So maybe they fixed that to give Megatron a more accurate shoulder cannon appearance. But with that being said, now checking out the head sculpts on the two figures. We have two different head sculpts. Now, the head sculpt on the previous figure looks accurate and scale appropriate to the size of the body. But check out the new figure, which is on the right. I feel like Megatron's head is too small. So I apologize, guys, because this might as well be the complaint portion of my review. But I'm going to try not to keep it on this so much. When coming to the details and the coloring on Megatron, I feel like the coloring is accurate to the character, but I feel like it is lacking more purple in him. I don't know what to say. I mean, compared to the previous, to this one, it looks blah, in my opinion. And I'm not going to dwell on it so much because it has been a few minutes gone by of just me complaining about this figure. But let's go ahead and shift gears so we can find out what else and show off some more comparisons with other characters from this line. And here we are, guys, for further comparisons. I just went ahead and bought out a couple figures from the first edition, in my opinion, of when these characters were released from the video game line, just so you could see where they're coming from and how they're making these molds more accurate in scale and also better detail. So I appreciate what Hasbro is doing with the gamer version, and I hope they continue it. Yes, I do know, and I am aware that we are supposedly getting a War for Cybertron star screen soon, which will be a Voyager. So I'm interested to seeing how big he will be compared to Megatron. In addition to that, I would love to see a War for Cybertron Soundwave, and his minions would be cool. And then I already seen in leaked listings that we will be getting a side swipe, and we will be getting some Decepticon, I guess you could call it like military militia characters. Hopefully with those, they give us additional heads or additional parts to army build on those, and that would be very cool. Now, with them giving us a Decepticon version of that, we'll probably get an Autobot version too, which will be very cool and indeed something that I'm looking forward to. Now, with that being said, with the War for Cybertron line, I would love to see them bring out like Warpath and some of the other characters we got as DLC. Like Air Raid or whatever, but Air Raid was not a DLC character, but I'm just saying some of the characters that we got in the game, I would love to see them incorporated in toy form. So now that we skipped transformation, because I'm pretty sure everyone has seen a review on this figure on how horrible it is with the knee articulation, I went ahead and took the transformation out, and this is what we get. I will say, yes, this is Megatron 100% all the way. Has all of Megatron's colors and everything like that. I don't have any complaints, except now that I'm looking at it, there are no tank treads to allow Megatron to come out of this hover mode. So that kind of sucks, because I know when Megatron in the game moved forward with Turbo, these treads were on the ground and they were moving. But when he hovered, this was fine. So I like the fact that they got the hover mode, but I am disappointed that they did not consider the tank treads to be rolling on the ground, or at least put some wheels to act like you can, but you can't with this copy. So it is a letdown. And so I'm going to jump to the best part. Here we are with the comparisons. As you see right here, as I stated at the previous segment, you can see the previous release Megatron have the tank treads on the ground. But if you wanted to make them hover mode, all you had to do was take these treads, move them down. I don't see why they couldn't have done that with the new mold, especially with the new technology. I don't see where that shouldn't have been done. Now, as you can see right here, just having both of these on their sides, I don't know if it's gonna, well, as you see right here, I love the way all this purple is and the red to break up this color Megatron. Now, don't get me wrong, this is more of the G1 style, but I'm definitely digging this one more because it's vibrant, you know, it's a toy. You want people to definitely buy this, and you want to sell the coloring on this figure. So I would love to see a dark energon version of this one, like this one. And as you see right there, they're pretty much the same same alt mode, except that the previous one has more of this game realistic turret, while the new one, the Studio Series, has more of the G1 like barrel of the turret. Now, the old one, in my opinion, is still kind of better because you have a gimmick and you can shoot this missile out, as you just saw with this Megatron. But this Megatron right here, you can't do anything but put a blast effect. So would I have traded a blast effect for a missile? No. I would have loved to have the missile more than the blast effect compatibility with this Megatron toy. And so here, to continue comparisons, here we have Optimus Prime, which is from the same continuity of this game, compared with the new Megatron. As you see right here, Optimus Prime to me looks like he is the bigger Voyager. With that being said, Megatron on my end looks like a small end Voyager, but like I said, Megatron is not really hollow. Every part of him compresses to fold up to make this tank mode. But I do feel like in tank mode, he's definitely smaller than Prime. Like, Prime is a massive truck, while Megatron is like this little baby tank. So yes, I do think the scaling in Megatron's tank mode is a little off. I wish it could have folded out a little bit more to make it longer to compare with the Optimus Prime from the War for Cybertron. So let's go ahead and turn these this way, and we'll bring out his fellow Decepticon right here. And here we have Barricade with Megatron and with Optimus Prime, and they look good. So I don't really have any complaints with that. Let's move Optimus Prime out the way, so that you can also check out the comparisons on this figure. Now, here's the issue with this. When comparing these two figures together, Barricade is definitely longer in my opinion. And the reason why he's longer, because if you move this up out the way, or take it off, basically, here you have Megatron here, and here you have Barricade here. Now, if you minus the turret on Barricade, I'm sorry, on Megatron, this is what we get. I got him angled up against the wall a certain way so that you can see that Barricade is actually the same length as Megatron. With this being a Voyager price point, and Megatron is supposed to be much bigger than Barricade, I feel like his vehicle is too small. So now it's time for the Yeah Bro Pick Up or the Pass segment of my review, where I like to share my opinions and thoughts on this figure and hopefully inform you and give you a informative information before you make a purchase to pick up this figure and possibly add to your collection. So to start it off, I'm going to say it is a pickup, but it's kind of hard for me to say that. And the reason why it's hard for me to say that is because this Megatron is a Voyager class figure. But I really feel like with the price point of what we paid, we are not justified for the design capability and playability of this figure. I feel like Megatron is lacking tank treads because his treads are only in hover mode right now. Now, you could do this, but that doesn't look right at all, because now you're going to have Megatron at a lean, and that's not accurate. We don't want Megatron looking like that. So because of the tank treads cannot lay flat and give us that more tank-like appearance, I have to hit it pretty hard. And then in addition to that, now I see why the figure doesn't have a lot of knee joints, because those knee spikes work for the double hinge part to form the tank. So that is going to have the piece locked together inside of the plastic where the knee joint hinges in with the shoulder, the kneecap covers of the robot mode. So when it comes to the fusion cannon, yes, it does have that jet black Megatron appearance. I don't quite like it because the previous figure or the previous creation of this character came with a missile launcher. I feel like that would have been cool and added a lot more playability than the actual cannon where you can include blast effects. Now, when it comes to this mace, I think this mace is incredible and that we should have received it within the first release, but I'm glad we got it with this release. It is really well done. And overall, I like that extra accessory to add to Megatron. So that does possibly justify the price range, but I feel like this Megatron is flawed and needed to be reworked to be finalized. I feel like Hasbro forgot to proofread this figure before sending it to production. So if you're interested in picking up a copy of this figure, I got my copy from HasbroPulse.com, where I paid $34.99 plus taxes. And if you would like to pick up a copy of this figure, you can head on over to the link which is listed below in the description, copy and paste it into your web browser, and it should take you directly to Hasbro Pulse, where you can purchase this figure. As always, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. By doing these 4 actions, it shows my channel a tremendous amount of support, and not only that, positive feedback going forth with more reviews in the future. Thank you once again for spending your time watching my video, and until next time, yeah bro, I'll see you soon.